Hey you guys, so welcome back to my channel. I just finished doing
blowing my hair open. I got my hair done. I look ready.
just finished doing a video with the Get Ready With Me. She just woke up from her nap. If you guys have not met her, this is my daughter Ava. Say hi.
Hi.
How old are you?
3.
Okay, so anyways, so I have some super exciting news to share with you guys. I am pregnant. Just woke up from her nap, so she is super cranky right now. So yeah, so I am pregnant. Today is 28 weeks for me. There's a reason we haven't been sharing things with you. I have actually had a super rough pregnancy this time. She was super easy for me, but this time it has not gone as smoothly as we would have liked, and it has been extremely difficult to film anything because just when things were getting really good for us and the pregnancy was going good, we found out more problems, and I don't know how many times I've actually sat down and tried to film this video and then just has felt like I shouldn't yet because of the complications that I have had already. So we're kind of gonna tell you guys everything all in one video. First off, so I'm gonna kind of tell you guys how I found out I was pregnant. Anyways, so a lot of you guys probably already know this. I didn't know this. My doctor didn't tell me this. My pharmacy didn't tell me this. But I was on the pill, super religious with taking it. Never missed a day. We just didn't really plan for a baby right now. And then they put me on an antibiotic for over 2 weeks, and I did not know that if you're on an antibiotic, it's like your birth control is ineffective, and I got pregnant. So I continued to take my birth control and stuff because I didn't know. I was like, okay. And during that time, I realized that like my sex drive had changed, and like I didn't know why really, but like it just didn't occur to me. So then about 5 weeks later, I went to another town with my mom, and we just went shopping for the day and went out to eat, and I just couldn't shake just not feeling myself. I was tired. I just didn't feel good. Like I felt kind of nauseous, and I just couldn't get it together. I didn't want to eat. I thought eating might help me. I didn't know why I felt this way. So then on the drive home, I was telling my mom about it, and she goes, Ranelle, is there any way that you could be pregnant? And I was like, no, there's no way. I take the pill. I never miss it. There's no way. So we decided to stop and get me a pregnancy test. I took 3 of them, and yes, I was pregnant. I called Dominic and I was like, hey, so I was feeling this way today, didn't know why. Stopped at the store and I picked up a pregnancy test and I took them, and they're positive. I'm pregnant. And his response was, oh, okay. And I don't think he really knew how to process it. I didn't either. So that was okay, his response. I know people are like, oh my gosh, he should be all over, he should be happy. It wasn't planned. He's happy now, and he's been happy, but at the initial, no, we probably weren't the happiest about it because it wasn't planned. We weren't ready for it. I was in school, cosmetology school at the time. He was working. We just didn't have the money. This isn't where we wanted to be. But that's how it was, and I was pregnant. So we just needed to take it day by day from there. So I found out when I was 5 weeks. So around 9-10 weeks, I actually started having some bleeding. And I know people say that like it's okay sometimes to spot. to the ER because it was more than just spotting. It was quite a bit of blood. So I was worried that I might be losing the baby. So anyway, so we went to the ER. They did an ultrasound on me. We found out my due date, which is April 8th of 2019. So anyways, they did an ultrasound and they actually found out that they don't call it placenta previa until you're 20 weeks because it resolves itself most of the time between like the beginning of the pregnancy and 20 weeks. So I did have that, and then I also had a subsacronic hemorrhage, which if you don't know what that is, it just means that like, so my uterus and the placenta, like my placenta became detached from my uterus, causing me to bleed. So typically they told me that it would resolve itself, and they over time, so they put me on bed rest. And because I was in school, my school was 5 days a week from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Obviously, if I'm on bed rest, I couldn't be there. I missed a ton of school, which eventually ended up with me having to not, like, pretty much drop out before they, like, kicked me out for attendance. So I had to drop out of school, and my attendance, because I wasn't there, my attendance percentage dropped really low. Anyways, so I had to do that. So then I wasn't working for a while, and I just started to get like really depressed about like where I was at, and that I couldn't be in school, and I couldn't find a job, and I was pregnant, and I was just worried about everything that was coming. Dominic was at a job that wasn't really the best job. He had to travel about 45 miles morning and night to work. We were spending a lot of money on gas and wear and tear on his car. And ultimately, we kind of had, like, I eventually got a job offer, and I'm working there, like, I'm working full time now. So anyways, so back to the baby and the pregnancy. So I was going to announce when we hit 12 weeks. We waited till 12 weeks to even tell family because of my bleeding, and we were just scared of what might happen. So we waited till then to even tell family. So then I had the video already filmed to share with you guys, and then I got bleeding again and again and again. So I and a little bit of history on me too is that I actually have a blood disorder. My blood does not clot. It's called von Willebrand's disease, and I found out that I had that when I was about 13. And then I also have a few other health issues that have played a part in this as well. But the von Willebrand's disease, really, if you can help it to not have kids, the better with this, because your risk of bleeding out when you're in labor or any surgery at all is a lot higher, and you have to go to a hematologist, and you have to be seen, and you have to have things for your blood disorder while you're in surgery or before or after, and it's just really not ideal. Anyways, so around 18 weeks, I found out and got taken off bed rest and everything. I found out that the subsacronic hemorrhage did resolve itself, and that I wasn't experiencing any more bleeding. I had my placenta previa, which if you don't know, it means that your placenta attaches to your cervix, which also played a part, but they don't like to actually say that you have that until you're 20 weeks. I was 18 weeks, and it had moved over a little bit, but it was still considered low lying. placenta. So it still could resolve itself. So then shortly after that and stuff, we found out the sex. So I was super excited to share the video with you because I could tell you what we were having, and I was just super excited about that. So I will share that with you guys now. Since I'm so far into my pregnancy, I wish I could have shared more with you guys. I want to share more from here on out. Anyways, so we are having a girl. I'm super excited about that. We actually already have a name picked out. Her name is Alexandria Elizabeth, and I'm not going to say her last name, but it's going to be Alexandria Elizabeth. Elizabeth is my middle name, and then Alexandria is actually a town in Egypt that my boyfriend's grandpa, he passed away a couple years ago, and this is the town that he was from in Egypt. So we just thought it would be really cool. It's a pretty name, and we don't really like the short names, Alex and Alexis and Andrea. Like, so for like a short name, we decided that we really like Lex, L-E-X. So the spelling of her name, we decided, is going to be Alexandria, just like the town is in Egypt. So, and it's really cool because my daughter's name, her name is Ava Evelyn, and it just happens that their initials are actually going to be exactly the same. So I think that's really cool. I really like that. Yeah, so anyways, let me get back to this. So I was feeling super excited. We found out that we were having a girl. I was feeling a little bit better about my pregnancy and getting a job, and I wanted to share all that with you guys, so I filmed another video. And then shortly after that, I found out that she was not measuring what she needed to be measuring. That she was actually quite a bit smaller than she needed to be, which was really worrisome for us. I actually went to a specialist, and more for like what to do about my blood disorder, because I'm a high risk OB patient. So we went there for that, and then we found out that she was also actually measuring a lot smaller than she should have been. So then I waited for my doctor's appointment with my OB, and to find out like what's the next step, what happens, why is she not big enough. So he scheduled another ultrasound 4 weeks later to see if she was just in a slow spot or if she really is that small. And if she was smaller, we were gonna have to do a test. I can't even pronounce it. It's like anesthesia. Anyways, they take a needle through the outside of your stomach.
Hi,
I don't know whenever you're talking to it.
Papa.
You're like, okay, I'm just okay, guys. So sorry I didn't finish this earlier. I'm sorry if you can hear the noise. She's up there. I've got to finish this video. Okay, so probably as you guys saw, Dominic walked through the door. He came home on his lunch, and we ate, and then I actually took a nap, so I'm looking pretty rough now, but we're gonna get this done. Anyways, so as I was saying before, so they were gonna have to do a test where they take a needle through the outside of your stomach to get the fluid out of your like placenta, uterus and stuff, to test for like a gene chromosome problem with her, to see if that was why she was smaller. And then if that didn't come back positive, then they were gonna have to find out like what about my placenta wasn't giving her the nutrients she needed to be as big as she needed to be. So anyways, had that ultrasound. It was super good. So when I had that ultrasound, I was 26 weeks. So it was 2 weeks ago. And she was actually measuring 27 weeks, which is amazing. It meant that those worries now went away. And then I went and saw my hematologist. Those who don't know what a hematologist is, they deal with blood disorders. They also deal with people who have cancer. So I actually ended up having to go to like a cancer center and get my blood drawn and meet with a hematologist and to find out the precautions and stuff that I need to take this time going into labor and what to do. So he has actually decided, the hematologist, that he wants my delivery to be scheduled. So my delivery has to be scheduled because he wants to be there along with his team to be there to put me on an IV to clot my blood. He's also going to send me home with a nasal spray a week after, to keep like me from, because when you're pregnant, your hormones are like way up here, and then as soon as you have the baby, they drop way down. And that's the huge concern about bleeding and hemorrhaging, is actually the week after you have the baby. So he is gonna send me home with a medicine that I just like spray up my nose daily, and it helps with my blood clotting so I don't hemorrhage when I get home.
Can I help you?
So that was super awesome to find out that I was going to actually have a hematologist there in case something goes wrong. I didn't have that with her. I did have the IV, but they didn't send me home with anything. And about a week after I had her, I actually started hemorrhaging, and I had to go to the hospital and get my bleeding to stop. So yeah, so that was really scary for me. So that was partially why I was really scared about going into this pregnancy. And with these precautions, like, there's always a chance that I still could bleed out and like die. So I actually do have a will in place for what would happen in all like different scenarios and stuff, like with her and like the baby if I didn't make it and the baby did, or like just everything. I had to do that. It's really emotional to talk about. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm finally at the point now where I can sit down and talk to you guys. My pregnancy, today is actually the first day of my last trimester, my third trimester. She has hair, she can open her eyes and blink. Like, it's just super exciting now. I'm getting more excited. This upcoming payday, we're actually buying the bassinet, the car seat, and like a diaper bag, and we're gonna start getting stuff together. One thing that did happen 2 nights ago, which is why I have that vein that burst, this huge bruise, and then I have this over here. 2 nights ago, I actually started having some really horrible back pain and like stomach cramping, and it kind of felt like contractions, but like really light ones. So I got really scared. So after work, I went to the ER, and I actually found out that I have like an infection. I can't remember what it is. Anyways, but that I was really dehydrated that day, and the infection actually caused me to have contractions. They weren't consistent contractions, so they were able to push an antibiotic and fluids in me and heating pads and medication to go home with me to stop that, because they weren't consistent. If they were consistent, it would have been a different story. So really happy that that got like resolved, and I'm being treated for that now. So happy that I'm finally filming this video for you guys, that I can finally tell you guys that I'm pregnant, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to sit down and tell you guys this. Like I said, I'm 28 weeks, and because this was not planned, I was actually a lot heavier this time starting than I was like with her. So when I found out I was pregnant with her, I weighed 140, I weighed 140, and by the end of my pregnancy, I weighed 190 with her. So I gained 50 pounds with her. But then as soon as I had her, just her and the water weight, I was back down to 170. So technically I gained 30 pounds in that pregnancy. This time, and this is super hard for me to talk about because like I'm so uncomfortable with the weight that I am, but it's just how it is. And I just need to be eating right and doing something about it as soon as I have her, and doing light exercises while I am pregnant. So anyways, I started out this pregnancy at 189, so like a lot heavier. I had gained weight after I had her. I lost quite a bit. I got down to about 160, and then I gained back up to like 190 pretty much. And it was really hard for me, and I was already, before I found out I was pregnant, I was already pretty depressed about my weight. And then I found out I was pregnant, and I got put on bed rest, and it just like kept adding up. Like I just kept getting more depressed, so I just kept gaining more weight. Right now I hit 200, and that is horrible. It's not because I'm pregnant, and I've managed to only gain 10 pounds so far this entire pregnancy, and I'm in my 3rd trimester. So I'm proud of myself for not gaining more and to like be really watching it. But for me, that hit like the 200, for me, it's been super hard because like, I don't know, it's a mindset thing for me. That I hit that. I've never been this heavy before in my life, so it's been really hard for me. Just like feeling confident, and like that's another reason why I haven't been doing videos, is because like I haven't felt confident, I haven't felt myself, I haven't like wanted to put that out for you guys, and just with working full time too. I just didn't think anyone would really want to see anything. But anyways, so enough about that. That's where I'm at right now. I'm really excited. My next appointment is going to be January 28th, which is my 30 weeks. I'll be 30 weeks. And then after that, I'll have to be seen every 2 weeks. And then we do, like I said, we have to schedule my delivery date. So right now they typically will do that at 39 weeks. They'll schedule you to deliver at 39, not 40. And 40 weeks for me is April 8th. So 39 weeks actually puts me on April 1st, April Fool's Day. We don't really want that. We're trying to convince my doctor if we could do it March 29th, which is the last weekday of March. It's a Friday. But technically I'll be, right then and there, I will actually be 38 weeks, not 39. He's gonna try and get us something from a hematologist that says we're trying to prevent me from going into labor too, so they can schedule it then. And then if we can, that's great. It's probably gonna be March 29th. If not, it's gonna be April 1st. And I definitely want to do it like around 10ish if I can. I want time to not feel rushed in the morning. I want to be able to get up, look like somewhat presentable, probably like today's makeup. Be able to have Ava there and breakfast fed, and all of us have like a really good breakfast in, and well rested, and yeah, so that was my hope. Whether it's the 1st or the 29th, I plan on doing it around 10, 11ish probably, just so that way we can be fully ready and not feel tired. And then when she comes, Ava will, that's the hope. His family lives in Oregon, so they are actually going to be driving. So the fact that it's planned is better. Not saying that I'm going to even make it till then, because most people, hopefully not me this time, but most people end up actually going into labor before 39 weeks. So we're hoping that doesn't happen, because they have to drive from Oregon to here to be here for the baby when she comes. So if it's planned and I don't go into labor, it's awesome. They can be here when she comes and it's not a problem. But if my water breaks and I go into labor before then, they're gonna have to drive no matter what time it is and start driving, and they might miss her coming. The drive, it's an 18-hour drive, so they plan on driving straight through, but I mean 18 hours in labor. My labor with her was only 8, and I was induced with her, so I mean better if they're here than not, but we'll just take it as it is. And then so this is my first this is my last trimester. This is my first day of 28 weeks. So from here on out, I want to do updates with you guys. I want to let you guys know how I'm feeling, what's been going on, like what's going on with my pregnancy. My baby shower is going to be February 16th. We registered at Target. I'm really excited about my baby shower. There's going to be a ton of people there, so I'm going to try and like vlog it if I can. Yeah, so I'm going to start a baby playlist, and I'm going to try and separate like some videos, because this one is probably going to go on my vlog channel as well as my main channel, my makeup channel. So I will have it on both. And if you're not subscribed to the other channel, I will link them down below. Yeah, so I have a lot more on my vlog channel than I do my beauty channel. So I'm super excited to be doing this and sharing it with you guys. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment any of your guys' thoughts with this. I'd love for you guys to be a part of my journey with this. I know that the journey is not very long now, but I still want you guys to be there for it. And then I will insert a couple of shots of like my belly like throughout. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Mwah.